Hello there. Have you ever worried about saying the wrong thing online that could get you into trouble? Or have you noticed how people who challenge the government's views seem to disappear from public platforms? In the UK today, that is not paranoia. It's reality. More and more people are being arrested, censored, deplatformed, and even financially blacklisted for simply speaking their minds. But it doesn't stop there. While political control tightens, the most vulnerable in society, the elderly, the disabled, and those dependent on state support, are being abandoned. They're vilified and treated as burdens, for want of a better word. Meanwhile, powerful globalist elite forces, backed by entities like the World Economic Forum, the WEF, the corporations like BlackRock, Vanguard and State Street, are quietly stripping the UK of its wealth, assets and sovereignty. Now the UK is shifting towards a corporate controlled, surveillance driven, speech restricted society, and many people don't even see it happening. I'm attempting to expose how our freedoms are disappearing right before our eyes, how global elites are exploiting the system, and how the public is being manipulated into accepting it. Now, free speech, it's being criminalised. Once a fundamental right, free speech in the UK is now conditional. If your views don't align with the government's preferred narrative, then you risk the consequences. And real life cases, for example, Kate Scotto, arrested in front of her children for misgendering a transgender activist on Twitter. Harry Miller, a former police officer, investigated for non-crime hate incident about tweeting about gender ideology. Caroline Farrell, a Catholic commentator, arrested at home for tweets questioning the gender ideology. Now, even questioning things like mass immigration, climate policies, the COVID-19 response, can now result in social and financial punishments. Then we've got the deplatforming and financial blacklisting. It's not just the police silencing dissent. Big tech, banks and the media play their part too. Nigel Farage, his bank account was shut down because his political views made him a reputational risk. Lawrence Fox springs to mind. The actor was blacklisted from TV roles and later debanked for questioning COVID restrictions and woke ideology. When banks and corporations shut down accounts for political reasons, I think it creates a chilling effect, and people stay silent for fears of losing their livelihoods. And then we've got the globalist takeover of the UK. And BlackRock and the WF are stripping and asset stripping our nation. The World Economic Forum, led by Klaus Schwab, promotes the Great Reset. It's a radical plan to reshape global economies, reduce national sovereignty and consolidate power amongst elites. Many UK politicians, including Rishi Sunak, have attended WEF. So has our illustrious leader at the moment, Sakir, OAP and Farmer Sama. Loves it. He loves that Davos. And they're attending the WEF to get their policies in line with the WEF objectives. You will own nothing and be happy. The push for digital IDs, central bank digital currencies, and the renting rather than owning property is happening now. Mass surveillance, the online safety bill, the digital ID initiatives are straight out of the WEF's playbook. Climate restrictions that hurt ordinary people. ULEZ, net zero policies, the 15-minute cities. Personal freedoms are limited, but the benefiting the global corporations. Then we have massive companies, BlackRock, Vanguard and State Street are the largest asset management firms in the world. They own massive shares in almost every major corporation, and that includes banks, media companies and energy providers. Now, how's BlackRock's asset stripping? How is BlackRock asset stripping the UK? They're buying up housing stock. Excuse me. BlackRock and foreign investors buy thousands of homes. And obviously pushing prices and making ownership unattainable for ordinary Britons. They're driving up energy costs. These firms own massive stakes in energy companies, ensuring that ordinary people suffer under soaring bills while their profits explode. Influencing government policy. BlackRock advises the Bank of England, meaning their interests shape economic policy in favour of theirs, not ours. The result? Well, the UK is becoming poorer while billionaires and global entities consolidate control. And then we have the vulnerable. The vulnerable targeted and blamed. While corporations strip national wealth, the government and media turn the public against the elderly, the disabled and those on benefits. The very people most affected by these economic policies. The winter fuel allowance cuts on OAPs. Despite rising energy costs, support for pensioners has been reduced, forcing many to choose between heating and eating. And that's a fact. Disability benefit cuts. The government has tightened its restrictions, making it harder for disabled people to claim the support they need. NHS underfunding. Long wait times, the budget cuts disproportionately affect the elderly and the disabled, who rely most on the healthcare. Instead of blaming the government and corporations, the media scapegoats the vulnerable. lazy scroungers on benefits narrative, ignores the millions of disabled and elderly who rely on these payments. Old age pensioners are a burden. They live in multi-million pound houses. They've never had it so good while they were working. They've got loads of money, and so on. And the government pushes that idea that pensions are too costly, yet never question corporate tax avoidance. Ever. And, oh well, you know, healthcare is stretched because of the old and the disabled. Instead of addressing NHS mismanagement, they imply that the elderly are using too many resources. You know, it's the old ones. Bed blocking. How many times have you heard that? You know, for example, the media celebrates raising the pension age as a necessary. And that is to protect the economy. You're going to retire later. It protects the economy. Right? And that causes a little bit of resentment. Like I retired at 66, other people retired at 65. People are going to retire at 67, 70s, and so on. Because of this sort of, well, propaganda, brainwashing, the divide and conquer strategy, turning working class people against pensioners, turning them against disabled and benefit claimants, and keeping the attention away from the corporate corruption, government failures and the rising inequality. And let's go on to the media controlling public thought. The media is no longer a neutral observer. It's become a tool for shaping public opinion in favour of government policies. Alternative news outlets question the mass immigration, WEF policies and gender ideology are labelled misinformation and suppressed. The BBC, the mainstream channels, only present one side of debates on climate change, Brexit or lockdowns. And let's have a look at how the narrative is twisted. Any protests against the government's overreach, shall we call it? Well, that's far right. That's far right extremism. I'm far right. Concerns over illegal immigration is racist and xenophobic. Guess what? I'm racist and xenophobic. Criticism of gender ideology, bigotry and transphobic. Guess what? I'm a bigot and I'm a transphobic. The manipulation tricks people are policing in there. The manipulation tricks people. And it tricks people policing their own thoughts, making them afraid to question the narrative. Now, what can I do about it? Well, the UK is transforming into a globalist controlled, surveillance driven society. That's a fact. We can see it. You can see it, I can see it. And it's where free speech, the national wealth and individual rights are being stripped away. I can see it, you can see it. It's there. So, what I'm doing, I'm speaking up. Because it's going to be harder to suppress my dissent. I seek out other voices outside the the mainstream narrative. And I try to inform people, because many people are unaware of what's happening, and help them see it. I'm not brainwashing anybody. I'm saying look at that and let them do their own groundwork. I'm not saying you follow me because. And I'm trying to know my rights and understand how things such as censorship laws are being misused. And that's a nightmare in itself. But if we allow these controls, we allow this government to carry on and continue unchecked, which it is, unaccountable, which it is, doesn't give a toss about you, which it doesn't, well, we're going to risk losing the ability to fight back at all. And in my humble opinion, the time for me to push back is now. Take care. Thank you.